Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out this week. What up, everybody? I'm Spear. On the mics with me this week is the Z-Man. What is up, Z?
Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salad and scrambled eggs. They're calling again.
See, I like that. That's right in your wheelhouse, I think.
Keep it low and slow.
Yeah, that's a good job. On the other mic is the mighty Ganthor. What is up, Ganthor?
Why you been avoiding me?
I'm not avoiding you.
I haven't got one message from you in over a week.
Because I've been busy at work. I have a new boss, and I'm doing his bidding as he commands.
Are you happy with that?
I do his bidding as he commands.
Doesn't sound like you're very happy with that.
That's where I'm going to leave it. Z-Man, what do we got on tap this week?
Something must be done about shows that go on too long. Shows that go long past their prime?
Shows that go on too long.
Shows that go on for too long.
Yeah.
Or shows that should just have stopped. Is that what we're doing, or are we going to do the Black Humor thing?
No. Shows that should have stopped.
Shows that should have stopped? All right. I'll do it.
Tell your story, and then you're done.
What's my story?
The Walking Dead story.
No. That's what I'm
saying. The Walking Dead story doesn't
mean... I'm not talking about that. I mean, I'm talking to the producers of TV shows. Tell your story, and then it's like Costanza.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Yeah, you don't overstay your welcome. That's what they do with every TV show.
There have been any number of shows that you either wish had ended sooner or you wish had ended better. Mm-hmm. Like for me it was The West Wing. The West Wing needed to end for me when Aaron Sorkin left the show.
Right, but he still had 2 more years in his term.
Well, right, he had more years in his term, and then they kept bringing in new characters and all kinds of other stuff. But for me, I needed that to end when the show was good.
Right, and that's when it that was the end of the goodness.
Right, Lost should have ended after like season 2.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. You come in, you write a story, you have the plot arc, the rising action, the denouement, all that crap, and then you're done with it. Like True Detective, they came in, they had the story written from beginning to end, all planned out and arranged and set up, and then they told it, and then the season was over and done.
Right. So they do True Detective as an anthology series. They don't do it as a regular series of television that's going to continue on. Like True Detective, the first season of True Detective had entirely different characters, a different setting.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the key to success, is that it's not a recurring thing, or at least if it is, it's minimized, or there's one overarching story that they're telling, and they spread it out, you know.
Well, the other show that's like that is American Horror Story,
which is awesome
because they do every season they do a different thing. Now they have the same actors and actresses.
Not all, but they have a large cast of returning people.
Right, like Kathy Bates and Angela Bassett come back. Jessica Lange was in it for a few seasons, right?
Yep.
And they add actors along the way.
Zachary Quinto was in there.
Yeah. Lady Gaga was in it.
Yeah. But it's not just a bunch of. It's not weekly TV shows or whatever for season upon season.
No. American Horror Story has a different theme every season.
But there's overlap.
That's what I'm saying.
But there's overlap.
Right.
That was the cool new thing that they added in the last 2 seasons, is that there's characters from the first season coming in now in the 4th season, which is kind of cool.
Oh, so they're actually linking the stories together now?
They're the same universe.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah, the first 3 had totally no overlap, and now the 4th and 5th one they did.
So that's interesting. I didn't know they did that. I know that they're doing something similar with all of like the DC comic book characters they have going on the CW, like Arrow and the Flash. Everything lives in what they call the Arrowverse.
Yeah, but that stuff seems like it's just villain of the week crap.
Well, aren't those like the best kinds of shows? Like Law and Order was like this, right? Law and Order had like the case of the week.
No. If anything, X-Files would be, because there was the larger picture that were always incrementally working towards revealing through the monster of the week thing.
Yeah, but they kept fucking with that story too, like the content.
Well, yeah, because they fell victim to the same crap they were complaining about in this show. They just kept stretching it out.
Right.
But I mean, the way to do it is, okay, you're going to do it. You're going to have a show weekly with a villain or a monster or whatever, but you've got to make progress towards the larger picture. Otherwise, you're just a soap opera.
Right. And we complained about this with Lost way back in like episode 2.
Yeah, we did.
right? Where the writers of Lost were just drunk for a while, and they didn't have any kind of plan for how to end the story. So there was no arc. Like they had no
Right.
idea where the story was going.
Well, no, they probably had a plot and a story that ended after season 1, and then the massive success that it was, the suits got involved, and then they stretched it out.
Right.
They're like, what about the people in the back of the plane?
Yeah.
Right.
They're there too somewhere.
Right. And wouldn't it be great if we just dropped this village of other people?
Yep. Now it's time for a Christmas episode. And then
Santa
the
Claus was
flashback episode.
Santa Claus was on the plane too.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Yeah, like Lost didn't get good again until like they realized they had an end, and then you could feel it building. You could feel them getting to some sort of resolution. But the problem was that the resolution they got to, they weren't able to tie up a large percentage of all of their different plot things that they had going on.
It's the same thing George Martin's running into.
Right. Yeah.
With Game of Thrones crap.
Right. The books. He gets so wrapped up in his storylines, and then he realizes that they're not going anywhere.
Yep.
And then he has just such disdain for his readers that he'll get bored with something and just end it. Like I'll spend hundreds of pages reading about this one plot line, and then it's over like in a snap. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Stab. Characters eliminated.
Right.
We cross him off on my list of things to resolve.
Right. Well, because I can't can't write shit. I mean, that's what you got to give the Game of Thrones writers for the show have had a plan, and I don't know if you guys watched the show.
Yeah,
Of course we do.
But you can feel it building. Like this season, this current season, you can feel it building to the end.
How good was this week's episode?
It was outstanding.
Yeah.
It was
because
outstanding.
HBO knows how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do their 13 episode seasons, and Game of Thrones is only 10. Like they do 10 hours of Game of Thrones per season. So they have to be real economical with the storytelling and how each episode has to advance the plot a certain degree.
That has its downsides, because, like, particularly with Game of Thrones when there's too much to cover. But generally, HBO knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
Every episode is meaning and significant and stands on its own because it's one very significant chunk of the whole piece.
Yeah. Now HBO has screwed up a few times. I mean, they screwed up with Carnival, where they kind of left things hanging because they couldn't either afford the show or didn't know where else to go with it, so they just kind of dropped the end of it.
I love that show.
Right? That didn't end. Right?
No,
did.
It just stopped. It got canceled.
They just stopped. And the same goes for Deadwood, which was one of the best shows I thought they ever put on HBO, but it just got so expensive, and they just couldn't afford to do the show anymore, so they just dropped it. So I have this problem. If I'm watching a show and I feel like depressed or saddened by it, I'll just stop watching it.
Dude, you should just watch Boomerang TV.
What do you mean by that?
It's a network dedicated to all the cartoons from when you were a kid. Just watch that. Some Barney, some Sesame Street. You'll be all right.
Some Barney. I could use some more Barney in my
It's
life.
serious TV, dude.
Yeah, but does TV need to be serious? Like I have this exact problem with True Detective, with Breaking Bad, and with The Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead for me, like I watched the first season of The Walking Dead, no spoilers, but I watched the first season of The Walking Dead, and it ended in such a depressing fashion that I felt like there was no incentive for me to watch season 2. And everyone loves it. Everyone talks about how awesome it is and how engrossing it is, and I just kind of shrug my shoulders and I go, "Oh, fucking, it's depressing as shit."
I just watched the piece of one episode, and I don't understand the appeal. I think it's a dumb show with very bad acting.
It's gone on way too long. It's a zombie soap opera. That's what it is.
Zombie soap opera.
In the season 1, the story could have been, that this thing happens, the dude wakes up, doesn't know what's happening.
Shh. I don't know anything about what you're saying.
Dude, it's not a spoiler, and he's trying to get to some place where they think hope is or safety is.
Right.
That's it. Okay. You write your story towards that goal, and then you're done. Season 2, maybe you do it with different characters somewhere else, and you can have them interact or whatever. See the other side of an interaction, where Rick kills a dude, and you're like, oh, shit. Because you see in the second season, you're following that guy's storyline, and you're like, oh, my God.
I mean, becomes a point where you're insulting the audience eventually, right? It's like, this is just the same variation of the theme. I saw this in season 2.
That's what the soap operas are. The one my wife watches, I don't know if she still does. I swear every character has been married to every other character multiple times.
And every single one's died and come back alive again.
Yep.
And found out they had a twin sister that they've been sleeping with.
Or they've had an evil twin, or they weren't somebody's kid, or somebody wasn't their real parent, or crap like that. It's just, and it's been going on for decades.
That's the truth. Decades. You wake up from a coma, you don't know who you are.
What?
That's one of the plot lines. You wake up from a coma.
No, I meant the show itself has literally been on for decades.
No, that's why. Like I know what you're saying. Like the General Hospitals and the Days of Our Lives. Like they've been on forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still have the same plot lines that they've had forever and ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
wash, rinse, repeat.
It's terrible. It's junk.
I mean, after a while, you can just program a soap opera script generator.
I'm sure that's his thing. I guarantee you Google that right now, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just run an algorithm and you can kick out a soap opera script, you know?
Probably.
Looking right now. Soap opera script generator.
And if not, for listeners, House of Celebrity.
Script generator.
Put in the names of your characters, pick your plot lines from one of these on the menu, and then hit enter and watch your script get generated. So, Ganthor, who does this right? I mean, you clearly have a...
Yeah, the British do it with...
Sherlock.
I don't know that there's a larger... Is there a larger story that's being advanced than Sherlock? I guess there was.
Well, for each season.
His nemesis.
For each season, yeah. I mean, they had the thing with Moriarty for a while.
Yeah. So they do a good... Luther's kind of the same way.
Luther.
It's fantastic television.
It really is. That's where, with Idris Elba...
Yep. I have a man crush on him.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I watched Luther right after I finished The Wire, which, by the way, another HBO show that is outstanding. But he played this Baltimore drug dealer, and now he's playing a British cop, and I had a hard time making that transition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably have the opposite. But they do it right because their season is 4 episodes long, mate. I think it's 4.
I think it's 6.
But the shows are a solid hour. Not a commercial hour, but a legit hour of content.
Yep.
So there's that. The Australians there's a show, Wentworth. Each season was, I guess it's 12 episodes, but something new and different happens in each one, and there's a larger story that they advance each and every time, and they resolve things, and they get in there, they do it, and they get out, and it's good.
What is Wentworth about?
A woman's prison, but it's not the comedy whatever that Orange is the New Black is. It's kind of dark and fucked up. It actually, Wentworth in seasons 2 and 3 has probably one of the best villains that I've ever seen.
Is that available streaming on something?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
All
you
right.
got to get over the Australian accent because it's kind of ridiculous. But
they're actually Australian, so it's not like a fake Australian accent, right?
No, they're real Australians.
Real Australians.
Because that was my issue with True Detectives. I couldn't get over Woody Harrelson's. I don't even know what accent that was.
I thought he did
Bayou?
a good job.
What's that?
I thought he did a good job.
The Bayou accent? Oh my god! Every time he spoke, I was like,
Oh, I loved it. I thought McConaughey did a fantastic job.
Oh, God, I couldn't take him.
What?
With all of his speechifying and...
Oh, my God, dude, you suck. You both suck.
Couldn't take it. I tried. I was like, God damn it.
Could take it.
Inappropriate.
that's probably the most appropriate thing he said today.
You're probably not wrong.
I wholeheartedly recommend Luther. I wholeheartedly recommend Sherlock.
Yep.
Even
There's a show, Broadchurch, that's supposed to be good, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't tell you if it is or not.
Yeah, Broadchurch. Even like Doctor Who. Doctor Who has they not only do they do a nice job of keeping the seasons kind of contained, but they'll even from season to season they'll just switch up the characters.
Yeah, but that's written into the story. Like,
that's the point, right? Yeah, that's kind of
that's
built.
That's not like so and so just got too big. Now we got to get rid of them. Well, that's probably why they actually put that in the storyline. But
no, but that's part of the genius of how they structured the ability to do the show, right? Is that every once in a while they'll just go time for a new doctor or time for a new companion, right?
Right.
and then it gives them a whole new set of rules to play by, and it just keeps the continuity moving, but it keeps the show fresh at the same time. Like I remember I only saw the first couple of seasons, but the switch from the first Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, to David Tennant, it was just like it was whiplash, because they were playing the same character, but their acting styles was so totally different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it gave them a lot to play with. And you know what I like too? You know, talk about David Tennant. They're doing the Marvel shows now on Netflix. They're doing these confined arcs. Jessica Jones had David Tennant in it, and he was the villain for the whole season. He played the Purple Man, and you know there was a beginning, there was a middle to it, and there was a very satisfying end to the arc of that season. Really well done. Marvel's doing a really good job with the Netflix Marvel show. Same goes for Daredevil. Really good stuff.
I said it before, and I'll say it again, is that kind of actually deters me from wanting to watch it, only because I don't want to have all that back debt that I need to, like, I'll feel like I don't know what's going on if I haven't watched every single,
No, but again,
episode.
That's the point. No. You see, that's where they do a really good job. Like, you don't need like the previous story. Like Daredevil, you can go from Daredevil. You could drop yourself right into Daredevil season 2 without having watched Daredevil season 1, and still probably be pretty good. You won't miss a lot.
Yeah, I guess I forgot about Daredevil, because that seemed like it was something that was advancing a story pretty consistently.
Yeah, they did
episode to episode, season to season.
Yeah, they did a nice job. So, what else would you guys recommend for like self-contained TV entertainment?
I can't think of anything that's on network television that would qualify.
Isn't that the case though now, right? Because network television likes to have these serial things that they can stretch out forever and a day.
Yeah, they're dying and dead. They're dead. They just don't know yet.
Yeah.
Have you seen Animals on HBO?
Animals.
No. Animals is a cartoon. It's written by two guys who I don't recognize, but they have pretty much anybody who's ever been on Reno 911, The League, or what's that? Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Workaholics. All those guys are on the show. So the two main characters are in every episode, and they keep changing what animal they are. So there's one where they're pigeons, there's one where there's dogs, there are ones where there are fish, there's ones where they are rats, a couple of them where they're rats, and they're the main guys, and they're always the same names, and I can't remember what their names are. It's like David and Michael or something like that. And so there's always a pigeon named Mike and a one named Dave, but then they have all these other people that are involved. And it's just like they just put a story to, like, what would happen if two dogs were in this situation, and then they kind of go from there. So the dogs, they went to the dog park. It turned it in as like a prison situation where they thought the dog park was the yard, and they were out there. The one dog took the other dog's ball, and so they got into a big fight, and they were going to throw down. And then there was this other guy who came in. I think it was Aziz. He comes in, and he's like this white supremacist dog, and he's got like a tattoo of a swastika branded on him, and all this other stuff. Anyway, funny shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shit. All right.
Check out Animals. 6 episodes, super easy to watch.
How about you, Ganthor? What do you recommend? We already recommended Luther. What else you got up your sleeve?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, and we've talked about that before. That's the new hotness in terms of Adult Swim.
Yep.
Yeah. I have to get into that. I have at least 3 or 4 people that are ready to not talk to me anymore unless I start watching.
Yeah, you need to.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would add to this in terms.
Yeah, what about your show, dude?
I'm trying to think.
Are you talking self-contained into one season, or self-contained like where you don't need to watch them in order?
I think it's more that there's a plot that's advanced instead of just endless. Let's bring in the advertising money.
Right, and it comes to, like, each season comes to a satisfying end. Like they don't drop you on your head. You're like, oh, what the motherfuck,
But they got to give you the cliffhanger so you come back and you want it for next season.
Yeah, right. So they'll give you a little bit. I like Narcos. Narcos was good.
Still haven't seen that yet. It's on my list.
Narcos was really good, and that was a nice self-contained arc about the rise and fall of the drug lord. That was really good, actually. Netflix kills it, and Netflix has got the model now where, you say what you want about like binge-worthy type of shows, but you'll even see like the writers from Daredevil actually say this. They're like, we build into the season the arcs because we know that they're going to be released all at one time. It's like, they deal with it in like 4 episode arcs, and they write the story now the way the show is going to be released, because they write the story the way people are going to watch it. It's one thing when you watch a show week to week, you can leave people wanting more week to week. But when you binge a show like that, you want that satisfaction of just spending the last 12 hours of your life plowing through a show. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Where's the 12 hours of plowing through your mom joke? Where is it?
I was trying to word it and I couldn't get to it.
Where is it? Come on. Satisfaction of plowing through your mom for 12 hours? Come on. That joke writes itself. I'm so disappointed in you guys.
It's actually really funny when we let you just tell the joke yourself.
Yep. Usually they're terrible, but that one wasn't really.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm just going to wrap this up then. What did we learn? What did we learn about shows that have gone on too long? What did we learn, Z-Man?
Check out Wentworth.
Check out Wentworth. Good job. Ganthor, what'd you learn?
If it's not on HBO in the United States, it sucks.
What about Netflix in the United States?
That doesn't count.
All right, doesn't count.
And Showtime's got a few.
Showtime's got a few shows, too. Was it The Nick? A few other things they have over there? Shameless?
I was watching The Nick. The Nick was actually pretty good.
Well, The Nick's...
That's the old doctor one, right?
Yeah, the doctor one.
Yeah.
Showtime's got, like, Shameless and some other stuff over there, right?
Homeland, I think.
Homeland's the only one I watch, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what did I learn? I learned that shows should have an arc. A whole series should have an arc. Should have a meaning, and it should advance something.
And it should end.
And it should end. And that HBO and Netflix and folks abroad are doing it right. So if you think folks abroad are doing it right, or if you think Netflix and HBO have the right formula, why don't you go ahead and let us know on the Facebook page, facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com. You can check out the show on Stitcher Radio, on iTunes, or on Google Play. Just search for 4Listeners and we'll pop right on up. And you can tweet at us on the Twitters at 4Listeners. We thank you for checking us out this week, and we hope that you will check us out again next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. Scrambled eggs all over my face.
Z-Man, what do we got on tap this week?
Did you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I did.
I missed it.
No, right at
Do
the
it
top.
again.
I did it right at the top. I said, whatever, everybody, I'm Spear. On the mics with me this week. I do.
Oh, you do it in the beginning. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
You think I know how this works?
Yeah.